As always, if you like my content, click the like button. It helps the algorithm see me. Hi guys, it's Quinn here, and I just got a couple of things to talk about today. Now, I apologize for not making a video in a few days. I've been in the process of moving, getting everything together, so that's been going on, but we'll get back to a more regular schedule pretty soon. But today I wanted to talk about the prospect for a Dune sequel, Dune 2, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Dune the Sisterhood, and I'm going to talk about a little bit what's going on right now with the Warner Brothers situation and the copyright claim. So I might as well just start off. Warner Brothers did remove the copyright claim. They accepted the appeal. They agreed that they were in the wrong. And so they released the copyright claim. So I don't know if that was from the combination of all the tweets that you guys sent to them, because really, you guys really were on them with the tweets. Every time I looked at one of the Dune trailers that were posted on Twitter, it was but you did this to Quinn. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much to my audience for being so hawkish and going after them and really just hopefully making them see that this isn't the right thing. So they actually removed the copyright claim, which I honestly did not think they were going to do. I really thought they wouldn't, because I had heard stories where they just claim people's videos essentially forever. But I'd like to think that it was the combination of my video and my audience just going in and being hey, this is wrong, that made them actually accept it. So that is awesome. But like I said, just thanks everyone that tweeted them, everyone that emailed them, and everyone that just supported me in the comments. I couldn't just thank you so much. So moving on from that, so some of you may know, Dune the Sisterhood has been kind of in the works for a while, but it's still in the very early stages. So Dune the Sisterhood, it's not exactly clear if this is going to be based on Brian Herbert's Dune book, Sisterhood of Dune, or if this is going to be based off of just Bene Gesserit stuff that's parallel to the Dune series, the main series. And the reason that distinction matters is because the Brian Herbert Sisterhood of Dune is this prequel thing that's dealing with the Bene Gesserit before they were really even the Bene Gesserit. So they're not really the Bene Gesserit as we really know them, which to me is way less exciting. I don't really want to see the Bene Gesserit struggle to build into the Bene Gesserit. I would rather see the Bene Gesserit already as the Bene Gesserit. So hopefully we can get a little bit more information about where that's actually going to go. But we knew for a while ago that Denis Villeneuve would be producing the show and writing at least one episode, and John Spates would be showrunning. John Spates was, of course, the co-writer of the Dune script that will be in theaters October 22nd. So that is no longer true. Denis Villeneuve is still producing, but the showrunner is now Diane Ademir-John, who did Haunting of Bly Manor, which I haven't seen, but I've heard from people that I respect is pretty good, and I am a fan of horror. So that's interesting that she's coming off of directing this horror show, this kind of slow building horror show, right into doing the Sisterhood, because the Sisterhood does need kind of this slow build. You can't do a Bene Gesserit show and make it all exciting and action. It needs to be about the scheming and machinations. So I'm curious to see how that's handled. We don't have very much information about Dune the Sisterhood really at all right now at this moment, but we'll see what happens with it, and I'm so down to watch it, and anything that Denis Villeneuve is involved with, I'm down with. And the cool thing about it too is because Denis Villeneuve is involved with it, I know it will have some connection to this Dune movie. It won't just be sometimes big franchises will try to have oh, this is a movie, but this is standalone. The show doesn't connect to this and yada yada yada. But it seems here, it'll all be interwoven. It'll probably share an art direction. It'll all fit in the same place. So that's really exciting to know that we're really getting ready to have this entire big Dune franchise, which is incredible. But it's all really dependent on the success of this first movie, which gets me into my next point. So I think a lot of people are still confused. No matter how many times people say it or I say it, people are still confused. Dune, this version of Dune that's coming out October 22nd, is only the first half of the first Dune book, right? That book is huge, and he's only doing the first half in the first movie. And that was the plan from the beginning. That was not something that was suddenly changed at some point, and they were we can only do half of it. It was when this was discussed with the studio. Denis Villeneuve did want to film them parallel, side by side, at the same time. The studio said no, and they said make the first one first, and then once that is successful, then we'll do the second one. So that was the plan pretty much from the get-go. And another note to make is they still are banking on that plan, because I saw the first 10 minutes of Dune not too long ago, and it opens up by saying Dune Part 1. It literally says Dune Part 1 in the actual thing. So it'd be ultra tragic if there wasn't a sequel. It seems like they're banking on there being a sequel. And at this point, it seems like they're all in. People are using like other movies as examples why Dune is going to fail, like Black Widow. But like Black Widow failed because it's Black Widow, right? Here's the thing. I don't want to offend anybody, but I was a big fan of Marvel Comics growing up. I mean, I really was just a fan of X-Men, but I liked other characters. The Hulk I always thought was cool. Spider-Man is like really cool. Read a few Spider-Man things. But the Avengers themselves as a team never interested me. I always thought like, oh, like, yeah, the X-Men would like kick you guys' behinds. So I guess you could say I was like pretty shocked when the Avengers became the thing and then X-Men was like the crappy series and like, what is going on with the world? But anyway, the thing is, all that already happened. The Avengers already happened. Endgame already happened. So we don't need to go back and then see the Black Widow story. Alright? But Dune is an entirely new thing. I mean, people might have heard of Dune in the 80s, but like for this generation, for the kids now, Dune is new. They don't know what it is, and it looks different, and it looks good, and it's got like, as far as younger actors go, some of the best younger actors. Timothée is a legitimate actor. Zendaya is a legitimate actor, alright? And they also have massive young followings. So I think this movie has a lot going for it that some of these other releases recently didn't have, and also Dune is coming later in the year. So things could potentially get better, but one thing I do know is that the fans of Dune are very excited, and I know the fans are going to come out that first weekend in droves and see this movie. And that's why the real fans of this franchise are so important, because if we come out and we see this movie on opening weekend and we get Dune at #1 on the box office, I mean, we can make things happen. We can make it so that the sequel is concrete and guaranteed. But who knows what the future holds? I mean, I'm not the Quiz at Satirac, so like I don't. But not to make this video too rambly, I probably said like and way too much. We will get back to my regular science fiction lore content shortly. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe for more Quinn's ideas. Thank you guys so much.